Alright, Ronald, I'm live. Oh my god. I haven't done one of these in so long. Oh boy. I haven't done one of these in so long. I don't know what to do. Just gotta wait for everyone to comment. Are you watching? Hi guys, I'm with my mate Ronald, and that's a lot of people. Holy shit. Anyway, how is everyone doing? I know it's been a while. For some of you that don't know who I am, I'm Ian, and I am sane. No, it feels good to finally come on live and talk to everyone. It's been quite a emotional roller coaster. Yeah, how is everyone? How are you? Are you okay? Is everything fine? It's okay not to be okay, you know? Geez. I'm in Indonesia. We're having a wonderful show tomorrow. I'm super excited to see our Indonesian dreamers. And might I add, I think Indonesia is such a beautiful country. On the way here, and actually we went out, me and my mate Ronald, and we were just saying, man, this is like really my vibe. I really, really love it. Man, I wish we could stay here a little longer. Had some amazing food, and I think just the people here are so, I think, respectable and nice. Even if I think run into fans, they make sure to like respect my space and all that. And honestly, for me, I don't really care. I just kind of, if you want, you could just run in and hug me if you want. You know, I'm totally down for that. I'll probably hug you back. And might I add, it's been crazy. My time zone has been, I've been flipping time zones, I think every other day. And oh yes, Peanut Butter and Tears. I hope you like that. It's just the beginning to an amazing EP, might I add. The EP is called Dear Insanity, and Peanut Butter and Tears was just the beginning of it. Might I add that the video too is just the beginning of what you're about to really see, and it's going to be about the other side. And some of the fans will know, but the other side is kind of where everything is from. I know that doesn't make a lot of sense, but I'll give you a lot of theories behind this. Should I tell him about it, Ronald? Yes? Okay, he said yes. So, just to give you a brief idea, this is not Mito 3. Let me just make that clear. Mito 3 is the main origin storyline, right? By the way, I love Indonesian food. Sorry, sidetracked it. So Mito is the original storyline. For those who don't know Mito is an alter ego that I play. But for me, it's a very real character because Mito is kind of like the person I am when I go into my huge manic dips. I become somebody else when I go into my manic episodes. I'm sure a lot of people that have severe bipolar will relate. But for me, I think I personify that. And what you see is pretty much real, you know. So anyway, Mito is this main character of this lore, which happens to be an archangel, surprisingly. But where did he come from? We don't know. And apparently he's in war with somebody called Mr. Insanity, which we only know from Mito movie Part 1. Part 2, who knows when it's going to come out. But Part 1, we know that Mito resents Mr. Insanity because he believes Mr. Insanity is the god of this universe. This universe, by the way, is called The Other Side. And so that's why this whole EP is very important. The one that's coming out, it's called Dear Insanity. It's a side story to where everything came from, the beginning of it all. It's kind of like, what's it like? It's kind of like Star Wars. You know how Star Wars starts like right in the middle of the whole plot, and then we get a lot of explanation or behind the scenes, or sorry, where everything came from like afterwards. Is that how it works? I think that's how it works. But it's kind of like that. So in this EP, visually too and sonically, we get to see where everything really kind of took off, who Mr. Insanity is, and very first look into what the other side is. I know for some of you it's like, it sounds confusing, but when you see it, you'll know. Speaking of, I can't wait. This was one of the most exciting albums I've ever worked on. And some of you might say, how about Mida 2? I think Mida 2 was really fun too, but I think I was going through such a manic roller coaster when I was, because, being that character and personifying it really takes a toll on you. It's kind of like method acting, I guess. If you concentrate too much on something, you really do become it. And I've seen what it could do to somebody. 주령이도 들어왔구나. 안녕하세요, 주령씨. By the way, shoutouts to Chun. If you have 홍미진진이 뭔 말까? Then shoutouts to him for making so many of these costumes, and you'll see what I mean in the future videos that are about to come out. Anyway, someone's asking me, am I okay? Of course I'm okay. If I'm not okay, I wouldn't be like this. 보면 얼굴만큼 흥미롭다. 저거 진짜. Anyway, what else was I to talk about? Yes, so make sure to pre-order, not because it helps me, but because it's such an exciting album. 멕시코는 언제 오나요? 멕시코는 곧 갈 것 같긴 한데, who knows? Maybe for a music video? I don't know. Am I spoiling too much? But anyway, I just wanted to check in on you, see how you are, because I've been, truthfully and honestly speaking, I've been was in a very rough patch. I think I was severely depressed at one point. I think I saw how low I could get. I really reached rock bottom at one point. I think it was during tour. And I really kind of saw myself wondering, man, how am I ever going to get out of this? I don't think I can. I was at that point where you start questioning if you could really even get out of it. But I remember telling myself, I don't think I could live to see another day. Literally. And I made that decision. If nothing really changed in my life tomorrow, it's going to be it. And surprisingly enough, I found a solution. The very next day, it was kind of godsend almost. But I kind of realized it wasn't always about me. I don't know how to make it sound. It wasn't always about me. Does that make sense? I really found power in finding something bigger than me. And it's I love giving. I'm a giver. I think I'm a huge giver. But sometimes you give too much and you obviously become a taker. And I think 지금 한국 사람들이 지금 여기 댓글에서 지금 한국 사람들 찾고 있는 것 같은데, 제가 나중에 이거 한국말 해석하는 거 진짜 누가 옆에서 해줬으면 좋겠다. But I realized even the biggest givers can become the biggest takers if there's no one to give to those givers. Does that make any sense? I'm sure it does. But anyway, I found peace. I found inner peace. But more than that, I found a will again. I found excitement. I found joy. Obviously, a lot of the reasons why I do what I do is because of you guys out there. But there are days where sometimes nothing can get through to my thick skull. 준영아 이거 좀 해석 좀 감사합니다. 준영이가 해석해준대요. Real time. So anyway, I went through my ups and downs, and I think I went through a rough patch this time. Came out completely distraught, scarred, and almost looked like I just didn't know how to get back to who I was. But I think coming out of something like that, you really do find, or you begin to find who you are again. Just know, even though you might think there's never a solution, there's never an answer, even though you might think you really can't come out of this part of the, I don't know, this part of your life, there's always a way, as long as you will it. But sometimes you might say, oh, but I even lost my will. And I think that's where a lot of the magic happens. So, like I said, I've been through that. I've been completely honest. And from that, I birthed Dear Insanity. Because it was the character that I knew I had to work on, but I am the equivalent of, I need to go through something in order for me to be that. Or reflect it. And if I'm not that at that present moment, I don't find a way to harness it. I don't find a way to really give that to the world, because it doesn't feel genuine. It doesn't really feel like it's me. So I have to really be in that position. So I think through all of that, I found sanity, which happens to be, to some people, insanity. And I think I was able to develop the character that I really wanted to, which was a very important piece, by the way, to this whole Mito franchise. But I just wanted to let you know where it all came from and how much it means to me. So seeing you guys enjoy Peanut Butter and Tears, it really does bring me a lot of joy. It is fascinating. Someone says, isn't it fascinating we find pain in beauty? I think the beauty is in knowing how valuable the pain is. I think that's where the beauty lies. I always say this, but when you're in the moment, you don't know, because you're hurting. How do you find beauty in hurting? You always find beauty in realizing why it hurt and why it had to hurt. I think that's where you really find the beauty, but you got to give yourself enough time to process that. If you don't give yourself enough time to process it, and then there's no real beauty in that. Trust me, there's no beauty in that. But yeah, so super excited about this EP. I might spoil a few songs. I wonder if people will knock me off for spoiling a few songs. All right, here we go. Actually, I'm working on the music video for... Okay, never mind. Wait, am I allowed to say that? Wait, I haven't announced it yet. Oh, fuck. Shit. Hey, who gives a shit? Who gives a fuck? Who gives a shit? I'm my biggest spoiler. Who cares? Who's gonna stop me now? Yeah, screw it. Yeah, I'm working on a new project. Not a new project. It's from the EP, but it's gonna come out pretty soon. And this is actually one of my most favorite videos ever, because I had so much fun making it, and I believe this video really captures who Insanity is. I had the hardest time trying to fixate who Insanity, or how to play him, because I was so used to playing Mito, right? Because Mito is more real for me than Insanity. Insanity is more a reflection of how I feel when I'm in my manic highs. Does that make sense? So it has to be more projected. Whereas Mito is, I black out when I become Mito. I literally black out, and I don't remember for a period of time. So it comes from a very negative but real space. So, Mito, yes, very real. So it doesn't feel like I'm acting. It feels like I'm processing how I feel. Insanity, I know how it feels, but I have to be completely insane to do this. It requires a little bit more method acting, but I feel like this music video, this song called which you guys are about to see, not now, but maybe I don't know, what you're about to see. I think it was my first time exploring the character, and I think I had a lot of fun doing it. And more than ever, I think it really depicts a good story for everyone. It's going to really help you guys understand the lore, and it's going to really... Fuck it, should I just tell them what the lore's about? Okay, I'll just tell them... Can I just tell you guys what the lore's about? Okay, so... But then, if I explain it to... Okay, screw it. Let me just say it. So whoever's listening, and whoever's interested in this lore, let me tell you, this EP is such a vital piece because it shows you how everything starts. How Mito is Mito and how Ian is whatever, okay? So in the beginning, right? In the beginning, puff puff, there was one Ian. Surprise, surprise. In the beginning of everything, there was one Ian. And so he was... Oh my god, I don't know where I should start. So let's just say there was one Ian in the beginning. Just one. So this Ian found out that his dreams weren't just dreams. Surprise, surprise. So his dreams weren't just dreams. He realized that by when he came out of these dreams, he would come back with souvenirs. Whether that be, I don't know, bruises or scratches or things that would kind of hurt him in that dream. He would come back realizing he has them as he is in the real world. And what he does is he realizes he could only tap into this universe. So let's just say there's an actual universe that exists in one's dreams. So it's not just a dream. You're actually going to somewhere that actually exists. And it's not pre-made. So he realizes that there's a universe that actually exists and it's not pre-made up. So what does he do? He sets on an adventure. So he takes a lot of sleeping pills. Not the suicidal kind. He takes a lot of sleeping pills and finds a way to find a loophole to get into this universe. And this universe is happened to be called the other side. In the other side lies so many distinct, unnatural landscapes, environments, and creatures and things that exist there. So anything in your wildest dreams that you see exist all on the other side. Your nightmares are real, and so are your cute little dreams of butterflies and, I don't know, unicorns. So imagine if this universe actually existed and what we were doing by sleeping is we were just going back and forth. Now, what's the take? The take is every time you force yourself to go into that universe, and let's say what is that thing called? Lucid dream, by the way. Let's say you lucid dream, so you get to walk around and explore. It's like the butterfly effect. The longer you stay in that universe, the more you lose your sanity. The more you go a little crazy. So every time you come back, it's kind of like, what's that movie called? Inception, where you can't tell what's real and what's not. What's a dream and what's not. By the way, all personal experience, ladies and gentlemen. I wouldn't base it off of anything else. They don't call me crazy for nothing. So this one Ian, he sets off an adventure one day. He decides to write himself a letter to his future self. And in this letter he writes, "Dear Insanity." Almost like he's writing a letter to his future self. So he writes, "Dear Insanity, By the time you're reading this, we have ventured too far off into our minds. Meaning, by the time you're reading this, you're already clearly insane. Because it's kind of like setting off one long journey and you don't know when you're going to come back. So off he goes, writes a letter to his future self, not knowing when he's ever going to come back to the real world. And he gets sucked in to this other dimension, mentally, but also visually, sonically. And that's where we start, ladies and gentlemen. That is the beginning of the song. It's the adventure to the other side. And it starts like this. I'm just trying to look for it. And it starts like this. So this is going to be the trailer. Fuck it. I just spoiled it. Who gives a shit? And this trailer is going to be, as you can imagine, hectic.
Dear Insanity, if you are reading this, we have ventured too far off into our minds, and everything that we thought was a dream is now real. Even nightmares.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm going to cut it there. But that is the intro. If I go any further, people are going to kill me. So, Ronald was like, yeah. Oh shit, even the DPR official joined. Who the hell? Anyway, I thought I had control of that. Anyway, so that's just to give you a picturesque idea of this EP. It's an adventure into the other side. It literally states my journey into the other side before I lose my complete mind. And it takes you through the process of him leaving a note to his future self, which is already batshit crazy because you already know you're going insane. The question is, do you want to go insane? And I think we all know the answer. So it's kind of like his own demise. And this character, Mr. Insanity, it's the forming of how he goes insane with each layer he breaks into his consciousness. Now, what are the layers symbolized as? And does Maido come from the other side? Is Maido classified a nightmare? Who knows? So on this journey, there are levels. Each level signifies a different part of your consciousness, a different part of your brain. But every time you unlock it, you don't know what you're unlocking. It's kind of like sometimes you might unlock a trauma. Sometimes you might unlock your youth. You have no idea what you're unlocking, but sometimes it's better kept locked. Not in this case. Why? Because it's a movie. It's not a movie. It's like a movie. So he has to go through a door every single time he wants to venture in deeper into the consciousness called the other side. But with each door he unlocks, he loses his sanity more and more. But now I guess it's the idea of like, does he welcome it, or has he already known he was going to go insane? And I think the question is, am I spoiling too much? Is this okay? Because a lot of people have been theorizing a lot of this. So where does Maido fit into all of this? Good question. No one asked. So Maido, this is where I'm going to leave people to ponder, because Maido, in his own rightful will, is somewhat part of the universe and somewhat not. I'll leave it at that. So when he claims that, when Insanity claims that he is the creator of this universe, well, we know who gets ticked off by it. Anyway, along this journey, he meets friends, he meets peers, I guess you could call. He meets things that he wouldn't want to run into. But all of this is typically an adventure and a journey through one's consciousness. The more you break into your consciousness, the more you find out. But is it always a good thing? I think the question is, damn it, it was on the tip of my tongue. It's like, do you do it because you can? Or should you because you could? Does that make any sense? I'm sure there's a better phrasing for that, but you know what I mean. Just because you can doesn't mean you have to. In my case, yes. But till when? I don't know. So Dear Insanity, look out for this. If you want pre-order it. But it's more of a show, ladies and gentlemen. My golly, thank you for the 3 million views for Peanut Butter and Tears. It's, you know what? At the end of the day, I'm always like, it doesn't matter about the views, but damn, it looks good. Damn, it feels good to have 3 million views. That's crazy. Yeah, just because you can doesn't mean you should. Someone pointed it out. Thank you so much. I'm so bad with my words. So, I mean, anyway, Dear Insanity, the EP, it's going to be so different. I always say that, but it's different in terms of, if you're looking for the Mitre sound, it has a little bit of that, but I think Insanity dives more into different genres. Not different genres, it has a more experimental sound. And I'll pose you this question. So we know Mitre is birthed from the darkness, quite literally. He is the epitome of what I consider to be my dark protector. Does that make any sense? But Insanity, now, I kind of think he's more darker than Mitre in some retrospect. I think he might be a little bit more crazy because he loves to tamper with the idea of darkness. I think there's one thing knowing that you're dark, and there's another venturing off and experimenting with it. That's a different level of insanity. But by the end of this EP, and by the end of hopefully all the music videos that you see that are about to come out from this, I'll have you choose a side, Insanity or Mitre. I think that's the most interesting question, because we've already planned this out. We've already completed the story. Up to Mitre 3, we already have the plot, but I'm kind of curious to see where this goes. But as for Mr. Insanity, I know there's going to be a lot of people that might see why he's so interesting. I can't wait. I really can't wait. But you get to decide who you're rooting for at the end of the day. I'm not gonna butt in. Let's just say Mitre. For a further understanding of Mitre, you need to look into Insanity. For further understanding of Insanity, you need to look into Mitre. It's kind of like the Joker and Batman. They need each other. But more so, you understand the more of the darkness, or more of how dark Batman can be through his relationship with Joker. It's kind of, just kind of need each other. But I'm saying but a lot. So yeah, that is kind of the chemistry that I'm seeing. But I keep saying what? What else was I going to say, Ronald? I forgot completely. Oh yeah. Yeah, so that's one thing. Should I spoil another song? So this song is called
I just hope that someday someone would love me.
Okay, enough today. Okay, another song. Remember guys, you're missing out. If you don't order these songs, you're missing out. Ready?
I spent night.
Woo! Okay, I got to that. Oh shit. Yo, I'm gonna get fried. Anyway, you're gonna trust me, you will love these songs. But more than the songs as well. I mean, of course you love songs, but I think the idea of the development of the story and the character is just, and I that's why I'm super excited. I'm so excited because our fans could finally understand where the fuck I was going with this. You could finally understand where I was going with this, and it took me so long to get to this point. But even after this album, I'm sure people are gonna be like scratching their heads and shit. But slowly, the pieces are coming together, ladies and gentlemen. They are coming together, and the team. I cannot stress how much my team right now is working on their butts to make this come to life. It's like I'm so blessed. By the same time, when I see him, I feel so bad. But then I feel good again because it's like I just see the results and I'm like, oh God, it's doing it justice. So seeing me at Lollapalooza was the best day of your life. That is quite an honor. That really is. To be someone's best day of their life is not really something to easily come by, but thank you. Thank you so much. 자, 이제 한국말로 해드릴 거예요. 한국말로 하자면, 어디부터 시작해야 되지? 제가 잠깐만, 세계관을 설명해 드릴게요. 어떻게 설명하지? 어쨌든, 자, 한번 열심히 설명해 볼게요. 이 EP가 마이토 3 아니에요. 일단은 인세니티에 된 캐릭터의 설명인데, 마이토 2 보시면 인세니티가 이 세계관의 신이라고 이제 돼 있는데, 사실 그거보다 이제 정보가 좀 더 필요하니까 이제 이 앨범을 내는 거죠. 이 앨범이 왜 중요하냐? 이 모든 거가 어떻게 이제 시작이 됐는지가 이제 설명이 되는 거예요. 이해했어요 혹시? 네, 여기까지 이해했죠? 그러면 봐봐요. 잠깐만요. rewind. 맨 첫 번째, 그러니까 맨 첫 번째로 이제 돌아가자면, 이 이야기에 이 세계관에 이안이 딱 한 명, 이안이 딱 한 명밖에 없었어요. 그러니까 마이토도 없고 인세니티도 없고, 그러니까 이안 하나에만 집중해주세요. 그 이안이 어느 날 꿈에서 이제 꿈에서 돌아왔는데, 그 꿈이 그냥, 그러니까 왜 설명할 때 이렇게 너무 이상하게 되지? 꿈이 그냥 꿈이 아니라 진짜 존재하는 세계관이었던 거죠. 말하자면 꿈에서 이제 깼는데, 예를 들면 거기서 꿈에서 이제 꿨던 거기 뭐 다쳤는데 그 상처가 그대로 이제 일어났을 때 딱 입혀있다, 뭐 이런 거에서 이제 어느 날 그게 진짜구나라고 이제 깨닫는 거예요. 근데 거기 세계관을 가려면 이제 수면을 해야 되는 거죠. 근데 이제 수면을 할 때마다 이제 넘어가는 거예요. 거기 세계관이. 그 세계관이 바로 Other Side라는 이름이에요. 제 노블베리즈 노래 들어보시면 Welcome to the Other Side 이러잖아요. 제가 그 Welcome to the Other Side, 다른 쪽에 온 거 환영합니다. 이게 뭐 너무 이상하다 하면 너무 춤스러워진다. 어쨌든 그 뜻 하는데, 근데 진짜 한국말 하니까 너무 이상하다 제가. 근데 좀 진지하게 들어주세요. 진지한 사람이에요. 아무튼 그래서 어디까지였지? 이게 진짜로 있는 세계관이구나라고 이제 깨닫고, 거기서 이제 수면할 때마다 이제 항상 이제 건너갔다 오는 거죠. 근데 문제는 뭐냐? 한 번씩 갔다 오면 조금씩 정신이 나가요. 이게 맞는 표현인가? 조금씩 이제 미쳐가는 거예요. 미쳐간다고 하는 게 맞는 표현인 것 같아요. 미쳐가요, 조금씩. 그러니까 말하자면 뭐가 진짜고 뭐가 꿈인지 모르는 거예요, 점점. 근데 이제 어떻게 해요? 사람이 궁금하니까 궁금한 궁금한 게 사람이니까 그렇잖아요. 그러니까 이제 궁금하니까 이제 마침 진짜 올해 이제 갈 준비 여행 가는 것처럼 언제 돌아갈지 모르고 이제 편지를 쓰는 거예요. 자기 자신한테. 이거를 만약에 이거를 읽고 있다면 미래에서 우리는 너무 깊숙이 들어가 버렸다. 이미 늦었다. 이미 우리 미쳐가고 있다. 그게 인세니티의 돼가는 과정이 시작이죠. 그래서 아까 방금 들려준 노래 있잖아요. Dear Insanity 하고 이제 막 이렇게 막 나오잖아요. 그게 편지를 막 쓰면서 점점 이제 빨려 들어가는 노래인데, 다시 들려주자면 왜냐면 이제 이렇게 해서
Dear Insanity,
이제 편지를 쓰면서 이게 점점
if you are reading this, we have ventured too far off into our lives, and everything that we thought was a dream is now real. These are the nightmares. My time is running out, but yours has just begun. But don't worry, I'll find a way to come back. I always do. Yours truly.
우! 큰일 날 뻔했다. Almost explosive drops. Anyway, 그렇게 해서 이제 노래가 시작이 돼요. Dear Insan이는 뭐 어쩌고 저쩌고 우리는 너무 깊숙이 들어갔다. 근데 우리는 항상 돌아오잖아. 돌아오기 때문에 걱정 마 하고 딱 편지 끝나자마자 쑥 빨려 들어가는 거예요. 말하자면 이제 자는 거죠. 그렇게 막 특별하게 뭐 그렇게 큰 건 아닌데, 근데 뮤비상으로는 너무 많이 얘기하나? 아무튼 이게 어쨌든 그 들어가는 과정의 시작 때부터 해서 도착하자마자 그 세계관이 이제 펼치는 거예요. 근데 이제 문이 무슨 뜻이냐? 예를 들면 이제 그 세계관에 사람 심리에 대한, 그러니까 어떻게 보면 그 세계관이 사람 심리적인 거거든요. 그러니까 그게 뭔 말이냐면 더 깊숙이 파고 들어가면 들어갈수록 내 심리적으로 내 안에 있는 것들을 점점 여는 거예요. 근데 그 여는 게 뭐 트라우마가 될 수도 있고, 내가 잊고 있었던 트라우마가 될 수 있고, 아니 뭐 잊고 있었던 기억들, 꼭 좋은 거 마냥은 아니기 때문에. 근데 사람은 궁금한 동물이잖아요. 그게 맞는 표현인가? 근데 그래서 들어갈 때마다 점점 미쳐가는 거 알면서 그 들어가는 방법을 계속 찾는 거예요. 근데 그게 단계별로 문이 있는 거죠. 그래서 피나 보시면 문이 있잖아요. 근데 이번에 이제 계속 나올 뮤비들이 인세니티의 캐릭터에 대한 더 잘 표현이 될 뮤비들인데, 진짜 너무 제가 좋아하는 뮤비들이에요. 이번에 곧 나올 거 몇 개 있는데 몇 개까지 얘기해야 되나. 근데 이것 때문에 계속 머리가 빠지고 있는데, 아무튼 인세니티에 대한 캐릭터가 확고해지면서 마이토가 점점 누군지 알게 되고, 마이토를 점점 보면서 이제 인세니티가 누군지 이제 아는 관계인 거죠. 말하자면 조커와 배트맨을 약간 보면 조커랑 그 관계 때문에 뭔가 배트맨이 이렇게 어두운 사람이구나 라는 걸 딱 느낄 수도 있잖아요. 근데 그런 것처럼 이 캐릭터를 이제 점점 열면서 마이토가 더 이해가 되고 인세니티가 더 이해되고, 어쨌든 이런 좀 결론적으로 이야기가 우리는 끝까지 풀긴 했어요. 마이토 3까지 어떻게 될지라는 결론은 다 나왔는데, 이제 우리 팬분들한테는 그런 거죠. 약간 인세니티 편을 해도 되고 마이토 편을 해도 되고, 약간 이거예요. 그러니까 말하자면 이제 보면서 나는 인세니티가 좋다, 딴 사람은 난 마이토가 좋다, 아니면 누구는 난 둘 다 별로다, 약간 이럴 수도 있어요. 근데 이거는 그냥 팬분들한테 약간 열고 싶은 아무튼 그런 거예요. 그래서 아무튼 그게 한국말 제일 베스트 해석인 것 같아요. Anyway, sorry, I suck at explaining in Korean. Yeah, I'm sorry. Did someone say Anyway, I needed to explain it in Korean because it wouldn't be fair, you know. And speaking of, someone said, how was Kazakhstan? Kazakhstan was so beautiful. By the way, if you guys didn't know, we shot Peanut Butter and Tears, a good portion of it in Kazakhstan. And my golly, was it so unreal. The music video doesn't do it justice. Like what we were like looking at it, and as we were looking at it, we were like, how can somewhere like this be so real? It didn't feel real. You know, it reminded me of like a Studio Ghibli film. You know, it felt so unreal. The colors were so precise, and it was just so beautiful and magical that I thought it just couldn't be real. But it was, and you know, we tried shooting it, and it didn't come out like we couldn't do it justice. So that kind of also so mad about that. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Is there anything else I was gonna say, Ronald?
Pre-order?
Oh yeah, but I think I went over the pre-order. So yeah, make sure you pre-order, cause why they have to pre-order? Oh yeah, just make sure you enjoy it.
Talk about the show tomorrow.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, obviously, and we have obviously the show coming up tomorrow, which is why I'm here in Jakarta. And did I just say, for people that didn't hear, I love Jakarta so much. I love Indonesia. I think the vibe fits me so well. I would live here if I could, honestly. I could really get by. And we had amazing food today, and the food was just so good. And the chef had they gave us like a very nice little ending compliment thing, thanking us for coming, and it was so sweet. And again, people are so respectable here, and I just love it. I can't wait. I wish I could stay here for a little bit longer. But tomorrow is obviously Asian Sound Syndicate, so I can't wait to finally see our Indonesian dreamers. It's gonna be so good. And I think, when was the last time we played? It was just during tour, wasn't it? So yeah, the last time was during tour. So my goodness, it's been a while. If you really think about it, tour's been a while. I love traveling. I do love traveling, but I hate flying. I must admit, I suck at flying so bad. I just can't do well on planes. I can't do good on things that are off ground. You have no control. You're in a little tin can that has wings. So statistically, they always say, you know, your odds are great. Yes, but there's still a chance. Sorry, I'm such a pessimist when it comes to flights. But anyway, super excited about the show tomorrow. I thought, what an amazing place to do in live, even though you don't really see anything. But I think I was in such a good mood that I really wanted to go on live. And it has been a while since I felt this good, you know, because like I said, I think I was going through such a rough patch, you know. Don't get me wrong, I think the album is super exciting. Just life, I don't know, I think life is just a pain in the ass sometimes. Not sometimes, almost all the time. But hey, you live, laugh, and learn. That's so bullshit, but you do. You live, you try to live. But hey, I think it's the people around you that keep you going. Sometimes you might not want help, but you know, it is what it is. Sometimes you just gotta find it in you. Maybe you have to be rock bottom to feel anything. I think I honestly feel the most when I'm at my lowest. As painful as that sounds, it's the truth. I think for me personally, I feel the most when I'm at my lowest, and I feel the most when I come out of that. Even though I think this time I'm probably not going to come out of it, but I do. Somehow I do. Somehow you always do. It's becoming almost too too much like a pattern. It's become too tiring. You know what I feel like happens when you get older? You just get sick of it. You just get so sick of feeling what you feel. Like, you're just like, fuck it. I want to get to that stage. I want to get to the stage where you don't give a fuck about things. Even though I feel like I am kind of like that now. But hey, what else was there? I'm sure there was something. Oh yeah, and the new YouTube channel, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, please show some love. I love some of the suggestions, the names. What is it going to be about? Do you have any idea what it's going to be about? Do they? Do they have any idea? A little bit, huh? Okay, so what the new YouTube page is about is, so if you have, I consider our music videos and our official page to be kind of like the other side. So it's kind of like a real dream, or what our characters experience or feel. You're getting full blast and full wind of that, Do I like mushrooms? I love mushrooms. Anyway, sorry, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so that's what I feel like DPR, Dream Perfect Regime, official channel is really about. It's kind of to display our universe in the other side. But now, what happens when you wake up from that? So what happens when Ian wakes up from being insanity and Mito? So what happens then? What happens when live comes down from space? Quite metaphorically. So it's the realistic side of it. So it's kind of like, now we get down to earth and really see, oh, it turns out Ian's a frantic mental health, has so many problems with him in real life. Matrix, how like Neo's all like flying and whoosh, whoosh, whoosh and all that, and then he turns out to be like a programmer. So it's kind of exploring the universe of the reality. So it turns out Ian isn't, what if Ian isn't Mito and some superhero, some super insanity clown that's running around and destroying all these things? He wakes up in a mental institute. And that's the reality of it. And what's really unique about this is it's going to be based on real life incidents. I was like, you know what? Screw it. Let's give them everything. Let's show them everything. Let's open our doors. I'm not afraid to show anything. I'm not condoning anything bad. I'm not influencing anything that I feel like is a negative consequence. I'm pretty sure I have a good team to keep my head in this. So what really happens behind closed doors? What happens when you wake up from Mito, from your blackouts? Where do you wake up? I don't know. What really is the truth behind my episodes? And I think that's another universe to really open up to our fans. I think that is what I'm willing to really lay out, and I believe this is absolutely essential. And I don't care if people say, but is that really like, it takes away so much from the character? But perfect. It's amazing. That's exactly what I want you to see. I want you to see what's real, and I want you to see no, scratch that. I want you to tell me what's real. Because for me, it's been one of the most difficult questions ever. I still sometimes struggle when I wake up to figure out what's real and what's not. I know how dangerous it could be. Don't get me wrong, I know how dangerous a lot of my concepts could be. Playing into a disorder like that, you're condoning it. No. If I had to weigh out, this is the biggest question I've always asked myself. Do I want to become an artist? If I'm going to become an artist, I'm going to base my artistry on something real, personal, and real. If not that, why become an artist at all? Not shading anybody else, but everyone has their own reason. Me personally, that's the question I've always asked. why am I ever going to become an artist if I don't make it about something that is absolutely essential and personal to me? And the reason why I question that to me is because, man, you're playing with fire. You're going to give your disorder a name. You're going to bring him to life. He was always alive, but now you're giving him a name. You know what you're doing. Oh boy, you know how much power you're giving to that. So I know how detrimental, well, I didn't know to what extent, but I knew. How bad is it going to get? Well, let me weigh the options. How self-destructive are you going to get? I'm pretty clear, I'm pretty sure, just estimating what I've already been through and now putting this out to the world, hair in my goddamn mouth, putting out this into the world, how willing are you to go to what extent, at what cost? Now this is a good question, because for me it's like, let's see, I want to find a good representation of what I go through, but to be honest, I haven't really found it. I feel like the world's going to shit. I feel like it's absolutely going to shit. And there's just so much bad influence. I'm gonna be real. There's just so much bad influence. And I fucking hate that. I just really, really hate that. And for me, it's like, if you can, then should you? In my case, yes. I think it's bigger, and this is why I say in the beginning, this is way bigger than me. This is nothing personal. I truly believe it's something that I have to do. It's really nothing personal. But it does come from something personal to me. But if I think about it, it's like, okay, I'm laying out all of this. I'm showing everyone my scars. I'm showing what it's doing to me. But every time I see somebody say or read, quote, "You helped me understand me. You saved my life. Through this, you gave me a better understanding of my dad. Through this, you gave me a better understanding of my loved ones, my friend." This is why I do it. This is literally why I choose to do this. Even if I go to the extent of going crazy, I might as well leave something. And man, I know how much I can take. Hopefully. That's an understatement. I don't know how much I can take. Don't make assumptions. But for me, I think it's more important, and I trust the process. I have a very good team around me, and I think through the exploration of this character, the universe, honestly, I have good intent of what type of message I'm trying to spread. I really do believe that. So I don't think God will strike me down anytime soon. Hopefully never. Because I really do want to help people. At the end of the day, I think that's just that's my plot. I just want to help people. I don't care how. I don't care how much it will take. I really do believe that there's still some good in this world. And I feel like, if anything, if my characters and if this story and if DPR helps you find your way, then shit, man. I think we've done a fairly good job. I think that's ultimately the reason why we do things. That's a really good reminder, because for me too, I'm human, and as we all are, hopefully. I do go through my crazy ups and lows, But I always tell myself, I always say, hey, if you can't get through this, God, can you imagine everyone's face when they were looking up to you, or if they were rooting for you? Can you imagine their faces if you just couldn't pull through? The looks and the disappointment on everyone, none of this would matter. everything we've built, everything DPR would have built, would go to shit. I would hate that so much. That would be so devastating. I don't think I could ever do that. So that's a good thought to have. You know, be responsible enough to the point where you can't do anything to yourself. I don't know if that's a good thing to preach, but if you're a responsible person. So anyway, someone just arrived. They said, they were asking what I'm talking about. I was just talking about how beautiful the sky was. Yes. But the sky is beautiful, but remember, the ground is also beautiful too. I would love to be in the sky, but I think I want to keep my legs planted for the time being. Anyway, so anything else I've missed out, Ronald?
No, I think, wish them a good night.
Okay, sorry. I think it's way past my talk. I think I talk too much, as I always do. Yeah, so if, again, last summary, be excited for the EP. It's my first exploration of Insanity. You'll get to see how he is. I love the song, so will you, hopefully. You don't have to love it, but hopefully you will. And what else am I going to say?
Stay safe.
Oh, yes.
Hydrated.
Stay hydrated.
It's hot.
Whatever that even means, stay hydrated.
Drink water.
Drink a lot of water. Spread love. You don't have to spread love if you're trying to find love yourself and you're having a hard time. Then just focus on yourself. Don't even bother looking look at the person next to you. Focus on you. Like don't I just don't get people like that. Say spread the love. Like, look out for yourself first. Number one, you gotta learn to love yourself. Even though it's hard, you gotta lie through your teeth. That's the only way. Projection is a scary thing, ladies and gentlemen. What you project, you always hear it all the time. Food for thought too. You are what you eat. But it's also, words are powerful. What you project is what you manifest. So you keep waking up, looking at that half asleep self of yours and telling that person that you're fucking gonna get through it. Because you will. You'll always find a way. You'll always find a way. There's always a way. There's always a way. Anyway, yeah, that's it. That's it for me. As for me, I'm good. I'm good. If I'm not good, then what? I'm good. Te amo. 사랑해요. And again, be happy, or you don't have to be happy. Just try loving yourself a little bit, just a little bit. I know it's hard. It's you might be a pain in the ass to everybody else, but just try loving yourself. You'll be amazed at what you'll find out about yourself, or what you'll find there. You'll be amazed at how beautiful that is. Might be cringe as fuck, but hey, since when was it cringe to love oneself? The world's fucked up. That's when you know the world's fucked up. But if no one's gonna tell you, I'll tell you. Yeah, just love yourself. Because trust me, you have a lot of people that love you. Just love yourself. I'm trying to. We all are. But fuck, man, I think that's the whole life's journey. That's the whole purpose of this. But hey, another thing. Sorry, I keep saying but hey. You guys help remind me to love myself. I think that's the most important key message here, which is why I am which is why I'm dedicating this to all of you. So good night, ladies and gentlemen. As tomorrow, I can't wait to turn off with my Indonesian dreamers. I cannot wait to see you all. Cheer as loud as you guys can when we get up on stage. Cheer for Cream, Arctic, Live. They're all excited to see you guys. So please make all the noise you can. If your voice goes out, throat candies are always good. What else is really good? Grapes? I don't know if grapes are good. But yeah, that's a good point. Someone said, love myself enough so I could start to love you. There's valid point in that. If you don't have love to give around, if you don't have love to give to yourself, you don't have love to give to anybody else. At that point, I think you're just bottling it up and you're lying to yourself. So, smile. Even though if you don't want to, just smile. Force yourself to smile. Because if you're not going to smile, then what? You're going to sulk. So choose one. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Hope you loved this live. I sure did. Again, what better place to do it? And see you guys tomorrow. Show some love to Peanut Butter and Tears. 좋은 꿈 꿔요. 그리고 저는 내일 재밌는 공연 하러 갑니다. Dear Insanity coming out. When is it coming out?
Soon.
Do you know the dates? I'm sure the dates came out. Coming out near stores near you. It's coming out soon. But anyway, tell your friends about DPR. You know, they'll love it. All right, peace. All right, I'm really going now. Okay, bye bye.